Welcome to today's session for Draw Along with Dan. I'm Dan Lietha, cartoonist, and today we're going to be drawing some dogs. And another thing that I thought I'd add to the fun of the day is I cartoon and illustrate for a ministry called Reasons for Hope, and I'm working on a cartoon right now. So I thought at the end of today's session, I would give you a sneak peek on the cartoon that I'm working on right now. So stay tuned to the very end, and you will find a little preview of this week's cartoon. So let's, I've got some preparation to do yet on this cartoon or the today's art. So let's get going on that. And I'm taking photos from a website called Unsplash. And let's see if I can find my photos here. I've got to, let's see. Where did they go? Well, apparently they got lost. I was trying to, oh, here we go. Beat the deadline of try to get this thing going by noon. So here's one dog. We'll start out with that one. Put this one up on the screen. There we go. And this one kind of looks like the dog that my daughter and son-in-law have at their house. So we're going to draw a few dogs today. We'll see how many we get through. And again, to start out with, we're sketching. So get your pencils out, and we're going to do some sketching, and then we'll ink the sketched drawing. And I'm going to pick a color. It'll be a bluish color to sketch in. That's just my personal preference. All right, so what shapes do we see at in this dog here? Again, I see another oval. I kind of see ovals and circles. So there's an oval there. And then, of course, we've got the tongue sticking out. There's another circle for the nose, or oval. Two for the eyes. And then the muzzle has a curved shape like that. Oops, let me do that again. Curved shape right here. So I like breaking things down into simple shapes so that we can kind of repeat that as we do our cartoon drawing. And then we'll just simplify the body like that. All right, so let's take that sketch. We'll move that down. And that, again, that's helpful for simplification. So that's a technique that you can use when you're doing some drawings. If you have some reference that you're going to use, then you can kind of use that method to kind of help yourself see what your picture is. But you don't have to just stick with the picture. You can change it and alter it, and that's what cartoons do, right? So I'm gonna have to think what stands out to me with this pooch. I'm gonna not go with the straight oval. I see kind of a shape like that, and then exaggerate the ears. Ears are kind of fun to make big and fluffy and floppy on dogs. So, and then I'm going really fast here. So if you want to draw along, you're invited to do that. But I'm just sketching fast and loose here. Don't try to copy every single line exactly. I'm just trying to get the idea across to what this dog is. All right, so, and then we got this big nose. And then this big, well, let's see, we've got the bottom of the the lower jaw there, but then most of that's covered with the tongue. Big tongue. All right, and then a lot of this is going to be affected by how we make the lines for this dog. In the fur, there's a lot of fluffy, fuzzy fur. So that's where the lines are really important, because they're going to be guidelines for when we do our inks. There's a lot of fuzz right there, but I'm not going to do a lot of that until we do our inks. But I will put some directional sketch lines in to help with knowing where the line direction that we're going to draw later is going to go. So I'm kind of drawing that. Then the ears definitely have a flow, a direction of the fur. So there we go. Let's see. My friend from Canada is back, and he says, "Keep this up, and you'll get 1 million subscribers in no time." Well, I would like a number, but I don't know. It's up to the Lord to see how many show up. But I would like to gain a following of young artists that schooled or homeschooled, or however you go to school. Young Christian artists in particular that are interested in drawing, and we can have some fun this summer with these sessions. All right, so there's my rough sketch. So I'm on my computer. I'm going to make that go light, and then I'm going to get out my ink brush, my ink pen. So if you have a marker or an ink pen or something at home and you've sketched this in pencil, now we're going to go over the top of that with ink lines. So I want to do the eyes because they're so fun, but I'm going to save those till last. In fact, I'm going to cartoon them a bit, like if you saw the video yesterday, we talked about eyes, cartoon eyes. I'm going to go with the nose. All right. We got the nose. So if you have any comments or questions, or even if there's someone that I don't know where you live, tell me what state you're from. It's always fun to find out where people are watching from. All right, so the nose, it's okay. And then this fur right here on the top of the nose. Oh, it's so... Now, again, I've drawn in the guidelines here, so it gives us the shape. Now we're to follow that shape, but we're to add the... See how I'm doing that? I'm following that shape, but I'm drawing the fur that I see in the photo. And I know where to go with that because I've got the line that I've drawn underneath. I have there's a guy that I used to go to church with. I think they go to a different church now. But they own like a kennel type of thing. And there's these dog show type things. I can't remember exactly what the event is, but he's been wanting me to do some caricatures at these places, and I think they're caricatures of the pets. So this isn't necessarily a bad thing to practice. Maybe if you kept practicing, you could go to one of those events and draw caricatures of pets. So there we are with that big tongue that wants to say hello. And then there's some other fur right here that's closer to the nose. Big fuzzy guy. All right, see how fun that is? That's a lot of fun. Then we're going to go up to the top here. Now, it's not so fuzzy up there, but it's more bumpy. The fur up there is more curly and it's laying down, not so straight up spiky. So again, following those guidelines that we put in with our pencils earlier. So we've got that feel of that different texture of fur. But now the ears are kind of a mixture. All right. Any favorite kind of dogs that we have in the audience? Put them in the comments. I grew up with a dachshund in my house when I was little. So I tend to favor the wiener dogs. All right. And then the body hair on the fur on this dog, it looks like it's curlier. Like this is a golden doodle, I'm assuming. Something like that. And I don't know if you heard that in the background. That's my dog, our dog Shadow. So there we go. Most of it's all done. Although I'm going to put some indication of shadow on the tongue because it's underneath the muzzle. And there would be a darker inside the mouth. There we go. And I'm going to put this kind of give an indication of some shape of the tongue. All right. And then maybe some shading over here underneath the tongue. And then these eyes. So what kind of eyes do we put on this little pup? Now, one thing about animal eyes that's different from human eyes is that the iris and the pupil kind of cover the whole eye. So you don't see a lot of white in most animals' eyes. And that makes animals look very, very different from humans. But if you notice in a lot of cartoons and such, that the goal really is to make them look more human. And there's a word for that. They anthropomorphize, I think that's how you say it. And so any of the cartoon characters that you watch, and they're talking and doing all kinds of things that humans do, it would look a little strange if they didn't make the eyes look more human too. So that's what they tend to do. It puts a little reflection in there for the... And notice how the drawing looked good and fine and all that, but then when you add the eyes, all of a sudden that character comes to life. And eyes are very, very important in your drawings. So there's our first little cartoon character drawing dog. So let's put this. Let's see. I want to golden doodle. Golden doodle. So I've got some notes for myself on the layers there. You guys can't see what I'm doing right now, I don't think. But I'll make these guys go away. So let's find our next pooch to draw. I think we'll go with this one right here. This one we can exaggerate some more. Maybe have some more cartoon quality to it. It's there we go. All right. Again, this is from a copyright-free website, so it's good to get some photos from these sites. Although I will say that parents, if you knew the name of the site, it doesn't mean that just because it's copyright-free doesn't mean that everything on there is family-friendly. Let's put it that way. I can do safe searches on there pretty safely, but not all of the content on those sites are for kids. So just keep that in mind. All right, so this dog here, what shapes do we find? First one that sticks out to me is that ear. It's kind of like a big triangle. And then maybe the base of the head is another oval. And then we've got a shape kind of like that coming out of that oval, and then the long neck. The eyes right here and right there. All right, so the tracing is kind of fun. Oh, hang on, let me put the nose in first too, because there's that. That's a major component. All right, I'm going to take that, put that down here. And for those of you that might think, well, hey, tracing's cheating. Actually, tracing is a very valuable tool that you can use in drawing and learning how to draw. And there we go. And so I use it a lot, not to cheat or steal or any of those types of things, but to learn. And sometimes I'll trace my own drawings. I'll do a sketch based on my reference that's right here, and then I'll refine it when I trace over the top of it. And I do that all the time. So tracing is very, very valuable. All right, so there's some fun shapes here that we can really go to town on and make it more cartoony. So the first thing that I see is that oval that we're starting out with. And then I'm going to make this dog's snoot. Longer. All right, so that nose is going to stick out more, and that or the snoot is going to stick out more at the bridge of the nose, but then the nose itself, it's fun just to rough those shapes in. And then it's got kind of a funny dog jowl thing going on there. So you've got the main chin, but then it kind of goes down, and I think it's kind of doing the same thing on the other side, so something like that. And then you've got the dog eyes, which we're just going to make round eyes on them. I like to put the little brows. Then that ear, big triangle like we said before, so I'll rough in something like that, but it's rounded off. So again, the sketch just gets us in the ballpark, and then it kind of goes down and then up. something like that. And then the top is not perfectly straight across either. And then that neck is long and skinny. So there we go. I like it. So I've been kind of sticking closer to the reference on some of my drawings so far. I think this is the most cartoony one that I've done. So let me know in the comments what you think. Do you want more realistic leanings, or do you like the cartoony interpretation better? And we'll have him looking at the camera like, hey, what are you doing? What are you looking at? And maybe in the comments, you guys can write a suggestion for the caption too. If this dog was thinking something, what would it be thinking? All right, so there's our rough sketch. Again, I'm not going to get too detailed on the neck and such, but so let's ink that in, and I think that'll take us home to a half hour. So I like the expression on that dog. The trick with reference is not to get too chained to it, and to use it to base your drawing on. Switch my pen to the inking one, and I tend to start with eyes a lot, but I'm going to save that to the last just because it's so rewarding to do those eyes. All right. And there we go. And then the nose. Dog noses are kind of funny. They do have a particular shape to them, don't they? I think sometimes it helps to draw a line down the middle of it and then kind of copy the nostrils on each side. Now, also, you'll notice I'm not coloring. This is just drawing. So we're not going to bother on coloring these. You want to color them, you can do that later. And then his mouth goes around. It's got that funny, saggy. Then his bottom chin, his chin is like that. And dogs have these like dark fleshy parts of their mouth right there. Oh, and the other thing too is they've got their whisker lines. So I didn't draw any guidelines for that, but you can see they kind of make a line where his whiskers are. So if we could just kind of make dots that go across like that and follow the form of the dog. Now, for those of you that are watching this as it's been recorded already, you're going to have an advantage in a sense of being able to stop and start this if I'm pretty much just going at my own speed here. So that's another thing I'm trying to gauge is, now this is the other side of the ear. See the ear comes down over there. I've moved it over here because it'd be closer to the head. You can even draw the other side of the ear right there. And then the ear, this side. Again, this is my lunch break. I'm in the middle of a cartoon for Reasons for Hope, and I'm going to be showing that at the end of this session. My progress on it anyway, so you guys will get a sneak peek. Let's see, my friend up in Canada says, I'd like to know more about what makes a drawing cartoony. Some more cartoon-like drawings, please. So, some more cartoon drawings, please. Well, I think a cartoon sums up the shape. It doesn't like I'm generalizing some of these things. Like I see a triangle for the ear, and it breaks things down into simple shapes and exaggerates and stretches and squashes and stuff. And I think that's part of what makes cartoons so fun. It's a simplified version of what the real character is. So you see the dog has a long skinny neck, so I'm really making this dog's neck long and skinny, and it just gives a fun energy to the image versus what the real thing looks like. So I think that's a rough summary of what a cartoon is. All right, now we're going to go to the eyes. So we've simplified the eyes, although they're pretty close to even what this dog's eyes are in real life. But the eyes of anything that you draw that has eyes really hold a lot of the success or failure of a particular drawing. I've seen some artist artwork, maybe I said something like this yesterday, that, boy, I love the rendering and such of the body and the figure and the background and all that stuff. But then I look at the eyes and I think, killed it. Didn't do it for me. So then I just kind of move on. And just drawing some of the shadow here. And there's some shadow on the other side. And then that ear on the other side has some cast shadow on it. Been trying to follow the form of the animal so that I'm just not drawing straight across. It would, if I did that, it would be flat. I'm going to keep saying that too. Now the nose has some interesting shading on it too. So I'm going to go across like that. You'll notice that there's kind of a rim of light around the nostrils. So I want to preserve that. But inside the nostrils are dark. And then the bottom of the nose is dark too. There we go. So there's our dog. And I like this dog. So in the comments below again, tell me what this dog is thinking, and then let me know what kind of dogs you have for pets. And let's make the sketch lines go away. So there we go. And then to finish our drawings, of course, we have to sign them. So I'm going to sign mine right here. And I put my .com because I have a website that I want everyone to go to. Here, I want to put some more lip detail there. And one thing about artists is we always are like, ooh, I can change this and alter this and make this better. And so there it is, final touches. Now, I promised that I was going to show you a cartoon of mine that I'm working on. I have a cartoon feature I do every week called Truth Jabs for Reasons for Hope. So check out that ministry on Facebook and Instagram, and we have a YouTube channel as well. So Reasons for Hope, and then I have a bunch of draw it and know it features on here. If you want to draw some more animals and get some biblical instruction, creation lesson type stuff on those drawings, then that's a feature that you should check out. You can find them on YouTube, Reasons for Hope. And we also have an app that you can download. So whatever phone that you use, an iPhone or whatever, go to your store for that phone, type in Reasons for Hope, look for the asterisk symbol. There's a blue asterisk symbol that we have. Find that, download that app, and then you'll have access to all kinds of great Christian content, plus my Draw It and Know It features and my Truth Jabs cartoons too. So, so there's some great resources for you that are free. And now the unveiling of this Truth Jabs cartoon. Now I have to tell you that I'm drawing a caricature of someone. My intent is not to be mean or anything like that. When I do a cartoon, I always want the point of the cartoon, the content, the subject matter, substance to be the point, the person's thinking. But sometimes you have to represent a person in the cartoon because they're the one doing the thinking. And I never want to do like some mean image of them to make them look ugly or anything like that, because that's not the point. That's actually a logical fallacy if I went that way. But a caricature sometimes can help communicate who that person is in kind of a fun cartoon way. So that's what I'm trying to do with this. And I'm not going to say the person's name. And you might be able to tell me who this person is. Again, my cartoon is partially underway. And so it's going to look different here in a few hours when I get done with it. And then it'll be posted, I think, tomorrow. So you guys can look at this and then find my cartoon on the I have a Truth Jabs Facebook page, and I have these get posted on Instagram and then the Reasons for Hope Facebook page too. So you can tell me who you think that is, and there it is. So thanks for joining me today, and watch for more of these cartoon lessons on at noon each day during the week, and I'll see what I do on the weekends. But it's been fun to have you join me. Check out my website, danlietha.com, and have a great day. See ya.